squat. I would suggest this type of squat for those who find the high bar very uncomfortable, or for those with long femurs. What that's going to do is, for those with long femurs, they're going to have to lean the torso a bit more forward in order to squat down. So notice in the high bar, most people can squat like the torso here. With the low bar, with a wider stance, the torso is going to be here. The grip width is going to be a lot wider than the high bar, and the bar is going to be a lot lower than the high bar. So if you guys remember, high bar was placed right about here. Low bar, if you drive your elbows back, is going to be placed right about here. You should feel a little muscular groove in this area, right in between your scapula. All right, so the hand positioning is very tough for those with poor flexibility. I had to work with just the barbell for about 2 weeks just to build up the flexibility so that it didn't kill my elbows or my wrists. So I would suggest starting wide. Again, I love the thumb over grip just for my own personal preference. I can hold it a lot better. All right, so I start out here, then I come under, and then if I can, I'll bring my hands in a little closer, and then cock the wrist forward. Okay? So I'll show a back view. Coming down, placing the bar in that groove over the scapula, bringing the hands in a little closer, cocking the wrist forward, elbows go up and back to get nice and tight. And I can't, and I shouldn't be completely vertical. I'll show a side view in a second. I'm gonna have some kind of hips back, forward chest lean, just because of the positioning of the bar. The stance is gonna be a lot wider. I'm going down, and then driving the hips upward. So you notice I have more of a forward lean, and that's because of where the bar is placed. I'm gonna have to look like this at the top. There's no hip full extension, because if I did, I'd be supporting the bar with my wrists right now, and that gets very painful when you get very heavy. So hips are slightly unlocked, bending at the knees. Think of driving the hips up and right back down. Again, take your time with this positioning. If you are deciding to go low bar, work with just the bar until you feel comfortable holding it in that position before you add any weight on it. However, I must note, you will be stronger with the lower bar. So again, that's personal preference. Some of you might not feel comfortable in that position. If you don't, then don't do it. If you do like that position, then go ahead and try it. One thing I want you to think about when squatting or driving up is think about a chain attached to your lower back. All right, so we're in this position. When you go down, you're like this. Think of a chain pulling you from here or pushing up through this direction when you're going up. Remember, that bar is lower on your back. So if you completely stand upright, you're not holding it with your back, it's sitting on your hands now. And that's just gonna create a lot of torque and tension in the elbows and the wrists. It's gonna be very painful. So you need to have that forward lean in order to balance it on your back. So you're gonna be driving up through the hips, all right, instead of like a high bar where you can drive up and fully extend. That's one of the other main differences with this exercise. And always keep the core as tight as possible.